All right, so welcome to RTIP 27. This is a gentle introduction to Shiny. And what we're going to be doing here, I'm going to actually show you how to build this little minimal Shiny app here to get you started. We're going to make a correlation heat map. But to get things kicked off, I want to answer the question, why Shiny? I always get this question. And it's basically because of the power that you get with integrating R into an application. So here's a quick example of an app that I call Nostradamus. And this is an app that I built for demoing kind of the capabilities of Shiny. You can connect to a bunch of different data sets. And this is kind of the same type of thing that the app that we built today, where we're going to be connecting to 3 different data sets, does. And then how this works is you can pick one and you can load it, and then you run a forecast on it, and it'll forecast for the horizon that you pick. Okay, and then once the forecast is done, you can see it's been produced here. Now the confidence intervals on this one look a little bit suspect, so I can show the confidence. I can pick not to show the confidence intervals. And this is how the app works. And it's got several tabs that you can click around, and it'll load in your data set and allow you to really explore your data in detail, looking at outliers, looking at autocorrelations, and things like that. All good stuff for forecasting. And you can see what the top models were that were produced. This one was a support vector machine with KernLab. Cool, so that's the top end. But what are we going to be doing today? This is what we're building today. It's a correlation heat map, and we can see that it integrates a lot of the same principles, where I can select different data sets and connect up to them, and then it pulls in the data and we make a correlation heat map. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Okay, so what we need to do to get started here for this general introduction. First, what you need to do is you need to sign up here for the Business Science RTIPS newsletter. That's going to get you access to our GitHub. What you're going to do is you're going to do a git, and then you click the pull button, and that's going to pull down all of the files from all of the RTIPs that we've done. So you can see we've got a ton of RTIPs that we've been creating here. We're on RTIP 27, Intro to Shiny. There's this app.r file. You click that, it'll open up this app.r. I'm also going to open up the outline here, and I'm going to click back to the viewer pane, because that's when I click this run app button. So if I stop my app, it's going to show up in this viewer pane. And you can click the run app. Make sure that you have these libraries loaded first. And what I'll do is save selected, run the app, and it should produce an application for you. Okay, cool. So this is actually the app that is running right over here. If I refresh this, and if this doesn't pop open for you, just make sure you click this button right here, and that'll open it up in a new tab. So this is the app that's running on my computer right now as I'm developing it. So here's how you would make a Shiny app if I had to teach this in 2 minutes or less. Basically what we're doing is we're going to load in libraries. It's just a normal .r file that I've got here in this directory, 027 Intro to Shiny. And I'm loading in some libraries. So Shiny, this library called bslib, I'll talk about that in a second. And then some modeling packages. So I'm loading in model data, which contains some data sets. And I'm loading in the Data Explorer, which we actually just talked about in our RTIPs, in RTIP 25, this EDA Data Explorer. So we're going to be using one of the functions from that. In Shiny apps, you have widgets. So anytime you see in this viewer here, like this heat map, this is an example of a widget that we've created. So it's basically just a plot that we've made, and we've used this package called Plotly to produce an interactive plot. And then we're going to load the tidyverse, because we always use the tidyverse for pretty much everything we do when we're programming in R. The next section here, I'm just loading in some data sets. So if you've never seen this before, all I'm doing is from this package called model data, which we've loaded up here, I'm telling it to pull in Stack Overflow, car prices, and Sacramento. These are 3 data sets that it's just pulling into my environment. And then what I'm doing is I'm actually putting those in a list, so I can codify and actually call out these pieces by their names. So I want to label this Stack Overflow. So if I run this piece here, And actually, I'll have to stop this to run it. But basically what this does is it creates a combined list that stores all three of these data sets. And you can see what the data sets look like here that I'm pulling in. So that's what this app is going to analyze. The app is split up into two different pieces. So you're going to see a UI piece. This is for the user interface, and I have that labeled 1.0. So all of this code up here is the user interface, and then you get the section 2.0, and that is the server. So these perform two different functions. The server is for actually running our code. So we're actually running like Data Explorer and producing a plot. And the UI is basically kind of like the framework. So when I click this Run App button, what we see is driven by the UI. So this entire layout is driven by the user interface. So you can see there's a title to the app, Data Explorer, that shows up right here. You can see I've got a theme. This theme is actually a Bootstrap version 4 theme from this company called Bootswatch makes it. It's labeled Minty, and that's this kind of greenish and light colored theme that the app has. You can see if I toggle this off and if I save this and just reload the app, you can see that the theme changes. So that's what we're doing here. So if I save that and reload it, we're going to see this theme update, and it looks a lot nicer in my opinion. And then there's a tab panel, and this is kind of where that structure of the app starts to showcase. So this tab panel, you can think of each of these having different tabs here. Explore is the first tab, and that's what this title is here. And then there's a layout that goes inside of this tab. Now it looks a little weird. If I open it up a little bit, you can kind of see the layout, and it's got what's called a sidebar, and it's got a main panel. So I'm going to close this just so you can see the sidebar layout has the sidebar and panel, and then there's a sidebar panel. So this is the first panel that's in that sidebar layout. So you can see there's H1 Explore a data set. That's what we call a header 1. There is what's called a Shiny Select input, and that's what allows us to change between the different data sets. We have this select input, and that's just like what I had in the Nostradamus app. And this is basically what is an input to a Shiny, and it creates what's called a reactive program. So anytime that we make a change here, what this does is that we have this input ID, and that sends information to our server. So our server is down here, and where we use that input ID, that data set, is right here. So this requires a little bit of what we call reactive programming knowledge, and I teach this in my Shiny dashboards and in my Shiny Developer with AWS course. So we're going to create a list of reactive values, and it's just an empty list. And then what I'm doing is I'm creating an observer, and I'm observing my Shiny app. So anytime this particular input $ dataset choice changes, I'm going to take my dataset list and basically grab a different dataset. So pluck a different dataset out of that list. And that's all I'm doing. And I'm storing it in this reactive values object. So what happens is back up here, so I make a choice, I send that to the server, and then I need to output that information. So I'm actually going to skip this section and move over to what's called the main panel. And that has this panel over here. And you can see there's an H1 correlation. So that's this right here. It's just some text. It's a header 1 in HTML speak. And then we've got a plotly output of the output that we're making. So this requires, again, a little bit of more information. So this correlation plot here that I'm pulling, you can see it's just one line of code, plotly output core plot. Where does that come from? Well, if I go back to my server, so we've observed this data set, RV data set, and we've changed that data set based on the input that the user selects. Where that data set is used is right over here in my plotting function. So I'm using Data Explorer, and I'm creating a heat map using plot correlation, and I'm just giving it the data set that the user is selecting. storing that as a variable called G, and then I'm using Plotly, ggplotly, to convert this into an interactive heat map. And that's basically what is created. And it renders a heat map. Now, how I store that on the server is in the output $core plot. And this piece is really important. So this core plot, how you save it, we just identify that we want to display that correlation plot using Plotly output and with the output ID. And that's what tells it to put it right here. So cool. Once you do that, you now have your first Shiny app built. So congrats. If you like this video, don't forget to sign up for the Tuesday free art tips newsletter. You can just click this link here and it'll send you here. Put your email address in, and every Tuesday you'll get these videos, you'll get the code, and you'll get the tutorial right in your inbox.